everybody, welcome back to the channel. That's right, today I got the new Harder and Steenbeck 2024 Ultra Airbrush. I had been looking at this thing for months, ever since I saw Squidmar announce it on his channel. I didn't get the Squidmar version. Now, what happened is that my mic died while I was recording the unboxing of this and going through it, so I'm doing a voiceover afterwards. I hadn't realized it, so anyways, very hefty, kind of heavy, but very comfortable to hold. And as you can see, it's got this nice knob on it that makes it that it controls exactly the airflow and the paint that comes out of it. So it makes it, for a noob like me at airbrushing, so easy to use and so easy to figure out how to use it. I do have some negatives on it though, and you'll see later on while I'm painting with it, but the needle is well protected. It's a much bigger needle than the 0.3. I think this is a 0.45 millimeter needle, but it's well protected with the cap in the front here. It is a little harder to do the backwash on it when you're cleaning it. As you can see here, you can see that it says Harder and Steenbeck on it, made in Germany. This is the cup. I can tell you right now though, there's enough paint that fits in just the little hole there. You can put about 4 or 5 drops of paint, so if you're just doing a little area and you don't want to wash the whole cup, you can put it in there and it doesn't spill over. Like, it's really good. It comes in this beautiful case. This is all you get with it. That attachment, however, did not fit on my hose, so thankfully I had the attachment from my other one. Anyway, so let's get started painting. We're painting Giant Man today from Marvel Zombies. This is a bigature. That's what I call a big miniature. And we primed him originally with the old airbrush with some matte black air primer. And I'm starting off with some ink carmine red and put this in the new Ultra 2024, and I set it to base. So there's a little dial on it in the middle there, and it set it to base coat. Now, I found that when I was a little bit further away from it, I tested on my hand beforehand, it sprayed a little bit more. So you do have to go a little bit closer if you want to be a little bit more specific. Because yes, when you base coat, sometimes you're going to base coat the entire miniature with the main color, right? But I was testing to see how this thing worked, and I found the base kind of was a little too small of a spray. Even a bit far, it was starting to get very light, so like, and you would spray a little bit more of the area. So I don't know if their base setting is meant to be close up, but in my opinion, I was like, okay, this is, see, you can just see like a little line coming out. And I was a little surprised by this because there is a settings of 1, 2, and 3 for detail, which I'm going to use later on. You'll see that. I'll show you guys that later. But all in all, the trigger works really well. The paint flows out really well. I didn't put any thinner in it. I decided to try it right out. And these are the Army Painter air paints. I have no other air paints, so I just use Army Painter stuff. But as you can see, like, I'm able to get right up to the edges of where the red should stop, and it doesn't overspray, which is really great. And now next I'm using is an Omega Blue for his shorts, gloves, boots. I don't know if the shorts were blue. I couldn't even see any artwork, but in the end I decided to go with the blue shorts on it because I think it was pretty cool to do it with that. But again, as you can see, the closer you are, the more of a fine detail you're going to have, even on the base setting. Again, like I said, if you're further, you're going to get that overspray, but it's going to be much lighter, and you have to apply many coats to it. So I don't know if I was using this wrong or what. I also had no clogging issues, except for at one point when I was doing the boot here. I accidentally, I don't know what happened, but it just did like it just stopped coming out a bit. So I just put it on the big setting, pushed out a little bit more, and came back, and it was working fine after. And the only problem is before doing that, I checked the nozzle by and doing it while there was still paint in it, which was the biggest mistake you can make. And it got all over the rim and stuff, so I had to clean it a bit before. And anyways, but it comes out, look, as you can see, it's still coming out really nicely. I fixed it quickly. I have to remember that you're not supposed to just hold the paint either, like not the paint, but the trigger. You're not just supposed to hold it and just go painting. You gotta shoot it. Like, you gotta push, you know, press and hold, let release, press and release, press and release, and let it do its work. Now, as you can see here on the Angel Green on the garbage bin here, again, you're able to get into the areas you want. My other airbrush, the Neo Eco from Amazon, I mean, it was an expensive brush too, but it was on sale when I got it. It was a Black Friday deal. It works great, but you have to set it yourself to how much you want it to come out, and you have to figure out the air pressures, how to get like an air pressure valve thing. I had to switch, like there's a little knob in the back to be able to go more paint, more air, less air underneath. It was a little bit too complicated for me. I love it for priming though. So here, this is where I'm putting it to level 1 on the brush, and I'm using zombie flesh to get all the skin that's zombified before I put on the final touches on it. And I did not test speed paints in this brush yet. I'm assuming it'll work amazing in here too. But look at how close you get, and you just spray a little bit, you just pull back that nozzle and it stops it for you, so you're not getting too much paint. The next color I was using was the Iron Wolf on the car door that he's holding. Now in the artwork he's not even holding a car door, and on the artwork there's like nothing on the ground either. So I just did a very basic gray on the bottom there, and then just did like all the car part here with this Iron Wolf, and just made it look like a normal car. Alright, now we're going to apply the speed paints on certain areas. So like I decided to do the fire hydrant with it. Now I could have done this with the airbrush as well. I could use a red, but I decided to do it with some poppy red to just make this little thing pop a bit more. A little bit of fire giant orange on the eyes. Now the problem is it kind of got soaked into the air paint, and then you don't see the orange as much anymore. And of course, using my favorite go-to for zombies is bony matter. So I'm putting this on everywhere I put that zombie flesh beforehand, and it does a great job covering it. And look at it, it gets all in the recesses really well. And yeah, really great. And then the final color I'm using is Grim Black, going over the belts. I mean, I could actually try. I was going to try the airbrush with a black. It was just a matte black, or a little bit less black, maybe the Crow Hue or something like that, or Raven Black, and just try and stay really steady on the belt without hitting the red or the blue or anything like that. But I'm like, oh, you know what? I just want to cover it up with the Grim Black so that it goes into the recesses, but it keeps that undertone painting that I've used. And I'm just doing the little tire here that's on the ground. There's a tire that's on the ground here. I didn't pay much attention to the base on this one, but anyways, there you have it, folks. Giant Man from Marvel Zombies is painted. I enjoyed and loved this airbrush. There are a few little nicks here and there that I need to maybe learn upon. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this informative video. I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one.